The end of week 7 on the platforms of the Gentleman Sim Racing Club means that we've just got one race on the agenda for you tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Friday Night Motorsport back in business after a couple of weeks off, and we are staring at the virtual Worldwide Technology Raceway in Madison, Illinois. And this is another oval round. There've been actually few and far between the oval rounds so far this season in the GSRC Road to Indy series, but it is only week 6 of the campaign as opposed to everything else this week being week 7, and we'll explain more on that in just a few moments' time. Good evening, everybody. Despite contrary belief, it's Joe Baldwin and Zach Caven with you for Friday Night Motorsport on the platforms of the Gentleman Sim Racing Club across Facebook, Twitch and YouTube. There is Gateway, Illinois. 5:04 in the afternoon, qualifying underway. In fact, it's about to wrap up for this round of the GSRC Indycar series. 6 km/h winds in a mostly westerly direction, southwesterly to westerly direction. 29 degrees the ambient, 36 on track, partly cloudy conditions and 42% humidity. A 2 km circuit, this one. So what's that, about 1.25 miles around the United States. 4-turn Worldwide Technology Raceway. Well, it's a glorified 4 turns, let's be perfectly honest. It looks like 2 to me, but they'll count it as 4 just to boost the numbers up. This is round 6 of the championship. Of course, we've had to reschedule one of those rounds due to the global Tech IT outage about a month or so ago. Let's have a look at championship standings venturing into this round. It's Adam Lavis on top, 220 points, plays Aiden Luthwaite 205, Paul Wood 158, 157 for Chris Noble and 147 for Aaron Russell, Ash Lear 134, 127 for Fred Kahn, 123 for Wayne Visser, Dave Oliver on 122 and David Baz on 119 points. The clock's advanced, the qualifying's done. The cars are lining up on the circuit now, getting ready to fire for round 6 of the championship. It's 65 minutes or 125 laps, whichever comes first. Clock's advanced to 9 o'clock in the evening. 6 km/h, so actually it would have been more fitting if it was 8 o'clock considering the start of our broadcast time, but I'm not fussy. 24 degrees the ambient, 27 on track, partly cloudy conditions, but that doesn't matter because it's pitch black out there. Lights ablaze around the circuit, and that's the grid for you. Bevan Moyes, Aiden Luthwaite, the front row, Adam Lavis, Fred Kahn, the second, Sam King, Jackson Dale, the third, Jamie Barker and Greg Heaney, the fourth, Liam Haycock, and Scott Jordanson from row 5. Only the 17 cars on the grid tonight, one of our smaller fields of the season. Curtin Amundsen alongside Wayne Visser on row 6, Daniel Yeaman and Sam Katakazinas from row number 7, Phil King, Eduardo Zamora from row 8, and Dave Oliver from row 9. 1, 2, 3, 4 risky business racing entries on this grid tonight. They're getting closer to dominating the grid. Greg Heady's quite proud of the fact that they've got 4 of them out there tonight. Joe Baldwin, good evening to you. Nice to have you on board. Nice to have Indycar back on the platforms of the GSRC. Illinois, maybe not everybody's favourite circuit, but it provides a unique challenge compared to the other 2 ovals on this calendar, being the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, which we're yet to visit, and the Auto Club in California, which we've already been to.
Yeah, it definitely does. Good evening, Zach, and good evening, viewers. This is one of those rare tracks in oval racing that's got 2 completely different ends. It's not even a paperclip, as you can see on the map up on the top right there. One end's quite tight, and the other end's big, fast and flowing. And, you know, oval racing and gear changes don't usually go hand in hand, but turns 1 and 2 are probably more like a road course. You know, like the carousel at Road America, for instance, and 3 and 4 are nice, big and open like your typical oval. So a lot of skill set needed. You need to be very patient on the brakes, look after the tyres. Being a night race, it's going to throw different temperatures and stuff into the mix for the drivers. So certainly looking to see who's going to excel here. And obviously you got Bevan Moyes, Aiden Luthwaite and Adam Maverick there, probably your 3 standouts in these. But look at those guys lined up on the outside road, will you?
Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hang on. There's an impersonator there. There's a Whiskey Business entry that wasn't a Whiskey Business Racing entry previously, and I will work out who that is as we get going here. So they've got 5 in the field of 17. Dave Oliver's opting to start this one from pit lane. Now, because it is an oval, I'm waiting to see whether the pace car goes around for a second lap or whether we're ready to fire for 125 laps here and now. Pace car pulls off. We're going racing on a Friday night, ladies and gentlemen, on the platforms of the Gentlemen Sim Racing Club. 125 laps ahead of us from Illinois. The 6th round of the championship, 250 kilometres ahead of us. Let's get stuck into it. Perfect start from the inside from Bevan Moyes. Aiden Luke-Wade hangs high on the outside. Through the middle comes Fred Kahn. Jackson Dial's very good start as well. Down the back straight for the first time. And everywhere Adam Lavis looks, it's Whiskey Business. He's got them to the left, he's got them to the right, he's got them behind and in front as well. Onto the main straight, one gone, 124 to go. Nick Fodiatis in race control for us tonight. Dave Oliver has joined from the back of the field. That might actually be smart on Dave Oliver's part, ladies and gentlemen. More on that when we talk strategy a little bit later on in this race. Back straight. Hang on. Bevan Moyes on pit road. Bevan Moyes on pit road. Was there something awry with the start procedure? Bevan Moyes is on pit road. Phil King's on pit road as well. Didn't see what happened to Phil, but he's on the tow rubber on pit road. Bevan Moyes on pit road early. Could be a drive-through penalty. Nick Fodialis is in race control for us tonight. He will pop in and out of the commentary box as he can, have a chat to us. They're already drama with the pole sitter on pit road.
I'm a little bit at a loss. I didn't see anything wrong with his start procedure. It didn't look like he jumped early. Unless iRacing's pinned him, he may have been borderline right on the limit for...
big one at the back. Massive crash at the back. Sam King involved in that. Eduardo Zamora as well, I think. Let's have a look at this. Liam Haycock's on the tow road. It was Sam King. Oh, wow.
Touch
massive
on the right
shot.
rear.
Now, an evasive action had to be taken there as well.
From Eduardo's view.
Yeah, let's have a look at this.
He's coming
Eduardo was the one that had to take the evasive action. That's what I thought. Whoa, Sam King involved. Now, what's interesting here, and I need to point this out for the benefit of everybody at home, Jamie Barker is showing as the leader at the moment, ahead of Adam Lavis, Aiden Luke Lake, Greg Heaney, Fred Kahn. So Whiskey Business, have a look at them, 3, 4, 5, 6 at the moment. Jackson Dial's in there. Scott Jordanson's the impersonator. He's the one showing us 75 sim sports on our time sheet, our team name section of our timing board. But obviously that is in need of an update because Scott Jordanson's representing Whiskey Business tonight. Here's Adam Lavis and Jamie Barker side by side to one. Now, for the benefit of newcomers to this series, and I'll let Nick Fodiatis elaborate on this a little bit later on, a lot of people at home will be screaming caution, 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 yellow flag, safety car, etc. We have rules in place, Joe, where in the first handful of laps and the last handful of laps, you do not get the benefit of a safety car. So if you crash out early, it's to your own detriment, to your own downfall for the rest of the night.
Oh, absolutely. You've got to be mindful of it yourself. I don't know. Yeah, I don't want to say. You've got to... Yeah, a little bit lost on that one, mate, to be honest.
A copy. I'm going to let Nick elaborate on that in a little bit when he joins us here in the booth. He'll be analysing everything that's gone on so far. Bevan... Copy. Actually, just while I think of it, Joe, I know this isn't ideal to be talking on air about production and directional matters, but I can still hear music, mate, so I'm just wondering if that's something at your end.
I reckon that is. Sorry, mate, a little bit overwhelmed with everything, my bad.
No,
there we go.
You're okay. Thank you.
Viewers.
No, all good. I could only hear it faintly. So for the benefit of everybody at home, the music will be back, and it's a good playlist that Joe's put together too, by the way. That'll be back post-race as well. I will... Yeah, hello, Josh. Good evening to you. I trust you to jump in there and remind everybody. 11 of 125, Adam Lavis in control of this race. Jamie Barker up 5 spots early. Sam Katakazinas, what a start from him for Velocity Sim Lab. Up 10 spots already. But the big news is further afield. Daniel Yeaman's out of business. He's done for the night. Liam Haycock is a lap down. Phil King's a lap down. Bevan Moyes is a lap down. Sam King's a lap down. In fact, they're more than a lap down. They're 3 or 2 laps down, respectively. So easy to lose laps around here early in the piece. The only way they're going to get them back is through some sort of strategy play and the misfortune of others. And I don't like their chances because of the fact that there's only one competition caution going to be thrown during this race, as per GSRC Indycar rules put together by Nick Fodiatis. So at that point in time, those lap cars may well get 1 lap back, but they're not going to get 3 and 4. So that's unfortunate for them, especially Bevan Moyes. That was a 44-second pit stop for Bevan, and that would suggest that he has copped a stop and hold on behalf of iRacing, and another one of our club rules, because even though we've got internal race control, there's some things that we won't overrule. And that is that if iRacing issues you with your penalty, serve it, cop it sweet. So that's unlucky for Bevan Moyes, the pole sitter for tonight's round of the championship. Adam Lavis leads, Jamie Barker second, Aidan Luthwaite third, Sam Katakazinas in fourth. There's Scott Jordanson in 8th place at the moment, in behind his 3 teammates, Greg Heaney, Fred Kahn and Jackson Dyer. And the top 7 at the moment, Joe, in a league of their own. Race control, avoidable contact for car number 83 and no further action taken. Self-penalised and 3 laps down. Okay, so Liam Haycock, avoidable contact and no further action. He was on pit lane for 1 minute 25. Now, there's the other thing as well. Phil King was on pit lane for 1 minute and 3. There are fast repairs available to these guys, so there would have been Sam King was able to take his. That's why he was able to get back out there a little bit quicker than those other 2 blokes. But right now it's a race in 7 at the front. Fred Kahn doing a good job to try and latch back on with Greg Heaney here, who's right on the clucker of Sam Katakazinas. Keep an eye on Kirk Normanson in 11th place as well. There are a lot of people not running the high line in the practice and qualifying sessions earlier in the day, but he was making it work to his advantage, and there will be a portion later in this race where that becomes important, where the high line becomes the line to have, the line to ride. Round they come onto the main straight. And just like that, ladies and gentlemen, 18 laps, onto the back straight. Down to turn 3, and just like that, 18 laps are going to have come and gone. Fuel range, we're being reliably informed, is somewhere around that 25 lap marker, which is critical because 525s are 125, right? And that's all I'm going to say on that. Do your maths right, and you should be able to work out a way to do this in 4 stops. Here's Aidan Luthwaite, all over the back of Jamie Barker, putting some pressure on now, Joe. Aidan's been impressive in whatever he's been behind the wheel of this week.
He has. He's had a good run for the week for sure, but he's going to sneak up on it tonight. We know how good he is with the high downforce open wheel car. I mean, well, he's good in just about everything, but the high downforce open wheel stuff really seems to shine for him. He's got a good handle on it. I think when we ran the oval last time, a few weeks ago, I think from memory he had a pretty good run while he got caught up in something late. I know there's been a lot of racing between then and now as Liam Haycock's in the pits. But, yeah, I think the biggest issue right now, if I was in the cars here now, I'd be having the fuel turned down and just knocking the laps out of the race. You don't want to get racy now. Everyone's going to be on a very similar strategy. It's just about staying out of trouble. You know, something unfortunately, Bevan's missed the boat. Eduardo got caught up in an incident. Sam had the incident. Dan's out of the race. You know, these guys, unfortunately aren't going to be there for the end of the race. But
no.
Just keeping the car clean, straight, and not touching that wall on the exit of turn 2.
Katakazinas down the inside of Luthwaite. Gets by. Beautifully timed, Joe. Just at the right moment, I was able to jump in there because I saw Katakazinas move to the inside. He got close enough to Luthwaite to make the move and make it stick. Well done. Lap 23, and Adam Lavis continues to lead from the front. Now, this is interesting as well because we know Adam Lavis and we know what he gets up to in the games he plays, right? It's going to be interesting to see if he's happy to lead to the front or at one point down the line. Oh, car on the wall, car on the wall. Now, that's interesting. Phil King's back on pit road, and this is Sam King. Oh, with Phil, the two Kings. And that's not a not a crowning moment. In fact, that's a dethroning moment.
I was going to say they're the king of clubs, clubbing in the wall.
Yes. Oh dear. Sam Catacazin is third at the moment. Aidan Luthwaite fourth, and Greg Heaney is fifth. Fred Kahn, Jackson Dial. So still that race in 7. We haven't lost any more contenders from this contest just yet. Dave Oliver's there, blinky willing a little bit with Scott Jorgensen in the battle for 8th. Wayne Visser is 10th and Kurt Nomenson's 11th. Now here they come, back to the main straight. We are getting to lap 26 without pit lane activity, so that's worth noting with regards to the back end of the race.
Just try and get another look at that and see. Oh, no. So King's got into the wall afterwards. I thought that might have shown us what actually started it, but just up in front of him there. Yeah, so he's got down onto the grass, and that's caught him out. So unfortunate, but I think we might have a slew of pit stops coming in.
Yeah, the wrong place at the wrong time. Everybody except Aidan Luthwaite and Adam Lavis have made their way to pit lane from that lead pack. And that was the point I was partway through making, right? No further action with the incident with the Kings from race control. Thank you, Nick. There's that slew of pit lane activity. Adam Lavis, Aidan Luthwaite now in at the end of lap 27. Kahn, Dial, Heaney, Catakazinas, Barker, and Oliver all in at the end of 26. So they've all got one less lap out of their run than Adam Lavis and Aidan Luthwaite. Now that's important.
Wayne Visser into the pits? No?
Yep. Eduardo Zamora as well, mate. And Kurt Nommenson has made his way in too. What's interesting for me, Adam Lavis was able to control that race and lead from the front and still find a way to save some juice and get an extra lap out of the tank. He's got that down to a fine art, Joe. You have the pleasure of working with him at committee level, but also working with him as a teammate as well.
Yes.
He's one of the best when it comes to the fuel save.
He's a wily old fox. He won't tell anyone how he does it, but he's very, very good at the fuel save. He's got a... When he's racing, he can analyse what in it, as Catacurnis is on the outside here, battling with Jackson Dial. A little bit of a battle there. That was good to see. He's very analytical. Like mid-race, his mind's always thinking and crunching numbers to, and he's very patient with the throttle and he's just good at going about his racing. So the oval races like this are something that's really going to work in his favour.
And what's also interesting there is that Adam Lavis, Aidan Luthwaite was the fastest along pit lane, 6.50 seconds of that lead 7. Jamie Barker, 7.05, has dropped back to 7th. Big winners and losers in that. Greg Heaney up 5 spots to 3rd. 7.03, 7.37 for Fred Kahn, 7.15 for Jackson Dial, Sam Catacazina 7.90. So, and Adam Lavis 6.98. So, I mean, the boys not only got in and topped it up 1 lap later than everybody else, they also pitted for less time than everybody else. So, it's interesting to see the gamesmanship already underway with regards to the strategy play. 14 minutes gone. It's a 125 lap race, folks, or 65 minutes time certain, whichever comes first.
Yeah, it depends on safety cars. Like if we would have a big crash and had an extended, or if anything like that, it'll go time certain. But we're pretty much certain to get it. We should get our laps in tonight. There's not a huge field, and we've had a couple of small incidents, but thankfully we've still got the majority of the guys out there banging around. It's
been a few weeks since I've been in the booth for Indycar for obvious reasons, but what was interesting in all of that was when we went to Spa, Nick timed it to perfection. I mean, he got the, I think it was 30 laps we went for at Spa, and he got it in by the skin of his teeth. He would not have wanted to go another lap longer, or otherwise it would have been a time certain affair. Back on board with Aiden Luthwaite now in second, all over the back of Adam Lavis like a cheap suit. They've got 2.2 on Greg Healy, Fred Kahn, Jackson Dyer, who has the fastest lap of the race, 24.79, and that in itself, the pace of this race should get us to 125 a lot quicker than
probably expect. Adam's
65
got a lot of
minutes.
traffic there to deal with at the moment. He's coming up on lap traffic, and this is where, see, Adam's there running mid-pack, the lead car's running sort of on the race line, and you can't follow in that tighter end of the track here. You just get a heap of understeer, and you'll just heat the tyres up, and then it will just be a sitting duck for Aiden.
I mean, if you divide 6 minutes by 25 seconds, you should get 14.4 laps in every 6 minutes. So based on that alone, take that 14.4, times it by 7, times it by 9, times it by 8.5. So if I times that by 8.5, we get 122.4 laps in about, what's that, 51 minutes. Throw in the pit stops, throw in the competition caution, we've got plenty of buffer time. Plenty of buffer time tonight with regards to the finish of this race. It's 2.01 kilometres, and it's therefore 200 and copy. Thank you, Joe. It's 125 laps on a 2.01 kilometre circuit, so that tells you that's 250 kilometres. That gives you an indication as to the sort of warp speed these guys are motoring along at tonight. Back straight again. 37.5 laps gone. Adam Lavis leads half a second to Luthwaite. Now, what's interesting here is Luthwaite is starting to be caught and reeled in by Greg Heaney. Fred Kahn, as Joe mentioned, Katakazinas had got by Jackson Dyer. They've still gapped Jamie Barker. Barker's dropped off tremendously here, 5.76 seconds. Fred Kahn's punched out his PB of the night thus far, 24.958. The fastest lap of the race, 24.790. We're riding on board with Katakazinas. So he's the biggest mover of the night thus far, up 9 spots. Dave Oliver up 8. Eduardo Zamora is one of 6 cars to be a lap down now. Zamora down for Lame Sheep Racing in 12th place, but still up 4 spots on where he started. Phil King's retired. Sam King's got back out there. Here we go. Katakazinas having a run on the inside of lap traffic and trying to get up on the ranges of Fred Kahn here. He's reeling Fred in. He's looming large.
And averaging 285 in the fast corner and 240 in the slow one as a minimum speed in the corners. So they're definitely honking around here. Aiden's all over ads at the moment.
How about Adam Lavis, though, controlling this very calmly from the front? Really smart drive from Adam Lavis so far. However, what's also going to be interesting here is when these guys behind him start to feel the urge or feel the need to race him. At the moment, they're happy to just follow the leader and go through the motions. The gloves don't need to come off this early in the piece. There he is. Have a look at the setup. Magnificent. Main straight again. Lap 43. 83 to go, ladies and gentlemen. 1/3 race distance.
Got a bit of a pack forming back here for the tops from 3rd through the 6th.
1/3 race distance in 18 3/4 minutes. That's not bad. Yes. That's good going. Top 4. Sorry, that's oh jeez, that was tight, that was hairy, that was sketchy. They did well to get out of that. There are a couple of laps cars in this.
I think what Fred got caught with there was when he ducked out from behind the lap car, he would have had a bit of understeer, and as he's turned into the corner, he's got out of the wash of the car in front. The nose of the car is just gripped up and it's just oversteered him down. Like the front of the car is just overpowered and nearly caught him out and caused a crash. So Sam's following him through. Sam won't hang about. There he
No.
goes. Jackson,
So
Jackson's on the boil.
I'm just trying to work out. That was, I think, Sam King and Liam Haycock with the two cars in there. The boys were passing, and they are, of course, both a few laps down. So I'm not sure what the protocol is there for those lap cars, whether they're supposed to just, you know, move to one side and get out of the way. Clearly they didn't in that instance, but thankfully all those boys around them, Heaney, Khan, Katakazinas, Dial, managed to get by unimpeded. Heaney's still 0.8 off Luthwaite at the moment, and Fred Khan is reeling him in. So teammates with no team orders. We know that there's no team orders when it comes to whiskey business. Jamie Barker to pit lane, second stop. This is interesting timing. At the end of lap 46.
Here's 45 mile an hour speed limit, I think it'll be at 72. Hit in. Yeah, nice entry to the pits, no speeding, no sliding through. How long's his stop? 5, 6, 7. Holy, yep, he's on his way out. 8.6, I'd say tyres and a full tank of fuel, and he's on his way.
I'd say so indeed.
This battle, I tell you what, these guys are doing exceptionally well for mine. They're like, the field isn't overly spread out. You obviously you've got to look at the aero factor, and I think a lot of these guys. Oh, as one of the cars go past our camera there.
Jeez, look at the rattle.
Yeah. Well, at 330 kilometres an hour, I think it'd probably blow me off my feet. But they're doing really well. Like, they're probably as close as they're going to get without it like affecting tyre wear and just being safe. We're still, what are we, lap 50 and 125, so we're, you know, what, 3-4 minutes shy of half race distance. So probably everyone's in a good headspace at the moment to make a good race of it for the last 15 laps. That'd be about go time for me. Try to, you know, drop the hammer,
Indeed.
try and get people to make mistakes, and so long as you got enough fuel to get home, you'd be going for it.
And look at the mover and shaker and all of that. Sam Katakazinas, third at the moment, a man on a mission. Look at the whiskey stable. Two of them peeling exit stage left. Katakazinas goes with them. They exit stage left at pit lane.
Oh, no mistakes, Sam.
He's on the absolute limiter there, is Katakazinas. Needs to pull it up.
Very hot.
Does pull it up.
Oh, Heaney right on his tail. Dials in there as well.
Yeah, lap 52 of 125, so we're about on par with where that first round of pit stops were. That's a 25-lap run for those guys. Wayne Vizza got to 28 on his first stint. That's well done from Viz to stretch it out a lap further than anybody else.
And still no random safety car.
No.
You know, that could drop any time from, I think it was at lap 20 to lap 100. So
yep.
we still haven't seen that yet. And this is one of the things that the drivers have got to be really aware of, is they know that there's going to be that portion of the race with a yellow. So you've just got to, a little bit, you got to be lucky. You've also got to be good and put yourself in the position to take advantage of that yellow when it does happen.
If you want the good news, I'll give it to you now. The good news is that we've got Friday night football underway as well, Joe, as we watch the second round of pit stops unfold now for Adam Lavis, Aidan Luthwaite. They're both in. And Lavis carrying a bit more speed around. Luthwaite catching up. There they are on the pit road. The end of another lap. 23 and 3/4 minutes gone, lap 54 of 125. We start lap 55 now. And the likes of Wayne Vizza also in this time by. Eduardo Zamora's into pit lane. He's 2 laps down, but still in. Nomanson comes in as well, running fourth at the moment. That'll all balance out once the field cleanses here.
I'll tell you, I'm going to put a bit of a smoky on Mr. Vizza here. He's had a great race. He's only... Yeah, he's on the same strategy with the race leaders, and he's not that far behind him. We've got the yellow coming up, so... Oh, no!
Oh, no!
Sorry,
Viz. The commentator's cursed by Wayne Vizza. Joe's put the mocker on him. Kurt Nomanson also struggling to get off pit road there as well. It's all gone. You know what up for locked up SimSport.
I'll send you a 6-pack, Viz. Sorry, mate. Oh, God, I'm going to get a nasty PM for that one.
What have you done, Joe? Fair dinkum.
Look,
It's interesting, though, because as you make a good point. So, I mean, we're at lap 56 now. The competition caution will fall anytime between, I think it's the end of the first 10 minutes and the start of the last 15. So anywhere in that 40-minute window. We're well and truly in that 40-minute window now. But we're heading towards it being the second half of the race. We're only 5 laps off halfway here, 6 laps off halfway. So that's going to spice things up with regards to strategy and other things as well, because if it falls at an inconvenient moment, then there's going to be talk about fuel saving, etc. and so forth. If it falls around about the time that we're talking about pit stops anyway, then all of a sudden, all those that are still on the lead lap, of which there are 9, Wayne Visser being the last, and Kurt Normanson will get a waiver round because he's the first car lap down. We will have 10 contenders in this race still, with however many laps to play once that safety car is thrown. We wait for it with bated breath. Sam Katakazinas, what a run he's had. Up 12 spots from 13th to 2nd. Sorry, from 14th to 2nd. And all over the back of Adam Lavis here. It's been a very well-driven, well-controlled race by Adam Lavis, but right now, Sam Katakazinas is a man on a mission. Down onto the main straight. Lap 59 becomes lap 60. Third is Aidan Luthwaite. Fourth is Jackson Dale. Fifth is Fred Kahn. Greg Healy's the one that's fallen out of all of that in that second round of pit stops, Joe. And he has fallen back to 6th, and there's a lap car in the middle there as well.
There is. Now, I can speak from personal experience when it comes to Sam Katakazinas.
That's Evan Moyes, actually.
He is one fast pedaler. I've raced Sam on and off probably for the better part of 7 years now. He was involved with a club that was around prior to the inception of the Jinx, and he was one of the guys. If you beat Sam on any given night, you knew that you were having a great night. And this style of car, open wheel, sort of a little bit same as Aidan and a couple of the other guys in here, the big wings, slicks, high downforce cars was always his forte, So I'm not surprised that he's joined the club and running up the front in the Indy cars. So, and he'll be just as fast on the road courses. So he's certainly a welcome addition to the club, and I welcome him in with open arms. He's a really great guy.
2 things here. One, something's happened to Jamie Barker, so we need to see what's happened there. And secondly, Jamie Barker's had a moment. He's on pit road. Second thing is, what you are seeing there, ladies and gentlemen, is Bevan Moyes unlapping himself. So at the moment, he's gone from being 2 laps down, he's now only 1 lap down. Because he'll, as soon as this caution comes, if he can stay in front of Adam Lavis and the chasing pack, he'll get that lap back, and he'll only be a lap down, and he may then be lucky enough to get a wave by after that. And he could also be back in business. This has been a phenomenal comeback from Bevan Moyes. And he is motoring. He is taking off.
And he's currently 16 seconds behind Kurt. So Kurt needs to keep it clean here. We still haven't had the yellow yet, but if he makes one little slip up, and what are we lap times with?
Katakazinas to the lead!
Oi.
Sorry, Joe, I've got to jump in there. Katakazinas trying to get down the inside, couldn't get it done. Lavis makes the high line work and somehow fends Katakazinas off. Wow, gloves are off now. Katakazinas has said, you know what? Bugger this follow the leader stuff. I want to be the leader. He'll have another look here at turn 1, will he? On the inside? No. Lavis leads us round. Turn 1 and 2 once more. Lap 66. We're past halfway. Oh, boy. It's all of a sudden ignited.
Big move from Sam there for the lead. He obviously wants to lead by example. He's, and you've got to make your arrival, I guess. So Sam's not going to back off with these guys, especially one of the stalwarts of the club, Adam Maverick, and Adam's like, nah, you're a newcomer, you're not going to have it just yet. You can stay right where you are. So this is a great battle for the lead, and Aidan's just right in there keeping an eye on proceedings. Yeah, I'm not saying that he's hoping these guys get together as Sam's having another run on ads. It's right around the outside.
Got him this time. Got him this time. New race leader. It's been a while in the making. Karakazinas takes the lead. Hits the front at Worldwide Technology Raceway. Lavis immediately tries to respond down the back straight. Have a look at this. It's lap 68. And Lavis, I tell you what, Lavis will now be seeing red. He'll be like, hang on, where's this attack come from? A big opportunity here for Sam Karakazinas to hit the ground running. Bevan Moyes has taken off, cleared up the road from these guys. There he is. Wayne Visser as well. So all those guys are trying to get their laps back here. Visser's still on the lead lap, but he's going perilously close to being a lap down.
So here's Kurt at the moment. He's coming around off turn 4. He's hitting a start-finish line. And Bevan, he's on the other side of the circuit, just entering turn 3 and 4 now. So, but he's closed that gap down to Kurt at the moment to 12, just outside of 12 seconds. So he's pulled what we earlier about 16 and a half. So he's pulled 4.5 seconds in on Kurt. So Kurt's just got to put his hands up and pray that yellow flag comes through. So, oh, look at this conga line now.
Oh, look at this.
Hello.
Ranging up on the back. This is very interesting where this is at the moment. Down onto the main straight. That's very smartly done. Well done there, Sam King giving way. Reading the leaders through. We're on to lap 72. Sam Karakazinas, Adam Lavis, Aiden Luke, crash!
Oh no, poor Sam again. Sam King. He's touched the inside, trying to get out, trying to say that. Oh no.
Got sent.
Got Zamora, and we have a yellow.
And caution. Oh boy. It's just been shaken and stirred nicely. Adam Lavis is trailing Sam Karakazinas at the moment. Karakazinas the leader, Lavis second, Luthwaite third, Dial fourth, Khan, Heaney, Oliver, Visser, Normanson and Moyes. Now Bevan Moyes, now that's the interesting one for mine, because he's come round and he's got his lap back. But he'll need to catch up to Kurt Normanson to get the second lap back. So this is this could work out beautifully for Bevan Moyes, but the leaders are making their way onto pit road now. There goes Moyes, there goes Normanson, round onto the main straight. They'll follow the safety car round again. And yeah, it is an awkward lap number because there's only 2 laps to go. So that's 2 26-lap runs for everybody. If they can stretch it out, there could be a bit of fuel saving, there could be a bit of coughing and spluttering going on here at the very end. And one bit of detail we missed in all of that hoo-ha is that Bevan Moyes has now punched out the fastest lap of the race as well, 24.782. So it is all happening here at Worldwide Technology Raceway.
Adams back out, just in front of Aiden. Fred Carnes third, Jackson, Sam's fifth. He was a little bit in the stall 2 seconds longer than everybody else. Sam was. So that's cost him 4 positions from the lead back to 5th. Wayne Visser's right in behind him. So he's had a good, from his spin on the last stop, he's had a good recovery to be back up in that lead pack on the lead lap. And it looks like Bevan and Kurt are both still on the lead lap. Now, if there's enough laps here, if they can duck in now.
Well, they've missed pit entry this time round, and they haven't got their wave around. Now they do. Now they get them. They get their wave around now. So now the onus is on them to hit the ground running, go like a scalded cat, go like buggery, get around as quickly as you can.
Yes.
Get to the lane, top up, then hopefully not lose that lap as you come along pit lane and get back on the train.
Yep.
So we'll be under caution for a few laps here as we stretch this out. and bunch the field up and go through the motions. Now, that's the other point. That's the other point. All those guys that just stopped on lap 73, right? It's a 42-lap run. But they'll save a little bit of juice here under this caution. So therefore, critical lap numbers are around about 99 and 100. You can stop there and get home if you hit all your markers. Oh boy, such pressure, such drama here. There goes Bevan Moyes. There comes Kurt Normanson. They are back in this race. They are back on the lead lap, and watch for Moyes. Started from pole, came down pit lane, sat in his pit box for 44 seconds, and now rejoins the queue in 9th and ready to throw the cat amongst the pigeons. Lap 75 has been gone, come and went. And I dare say the safety car lights will be out, Joe, as the rest of the field comes in. Dave Oliver, Eduardo Zamora to pit lane. Scott Jordanson, Liam Haycock still out there, and Jamie Barker as well. He got back out after a 5-second stop on lap 72. Still haven't seen what happened to him to trigger that third stop. Sam King is 5 laps down. Phil King's out, so too Daniel Yaman. Go for it, Joe.
Yeah, Jamie Baker, I think it was, he just drove into the pit. So we went back and had a look at it, and he just drove in like normal and stopped, but he was there for, oh no, oh, who's this?
Oh,
Liam
no.
Haycock.
Liam Haycock's on the tow rope and has come undone under the safety car. Well, oh no. That's awkward. And you know what's worse? We're about to go back racing. The lights are out on the safety car. The field's making its way around the final corner, and we are about to go back to green. Adam Lavis will have control of the field with Aidan Luthwaite in behind. We're still watching a replay there, folks. Cars coming around onto the main straight. Ready to hit the gas and get going. Let's go once more in Illinois. Green flag flies. Adam Lavis hits the gas and gets going. Beautiful restart from him. Bevan Moyes got bogged down a little bit. Tried to find some clear air. Watch Aidan Luthwaite hold Adam Lavis to task. Down the back straight. Lap 77. 48 laps to go next time by the line. It's a one-stop race from here. Anything more than that, and you're out of contention. And it's so critical now, Joe, because of the way that competition caution fell. And that was the random number that was drawn before the race, by the way, ladies and gentlemen. We can verify that. But so it had nothing to do. The crash that happened on lap 72 was purely coincidental. But what we have now is a situation as Nick Fodiatis joins us now that things have finally been contained and calmed down a little bit in race control. What we have now is an out-and-out sprint race, boys, because if you make an error here, you can kiss it goodbye. It is so important to get it right over the course of the next 47 laps. Good evening, Nick.
Good evening, Zach.
What have you made of that?
Looks like anybody in the top 10 can win this one.
Adam Lavis. And then Fred Kahn. Into the 24/7s now, boys. Here we go. Watch Bevan Moyes. By gee, he's a man on a mission. What happened there at the start, Nick?
In a crash?
No, with Bevan Moyes. Pit lane, stop and hold.
I have no idea. He must have popped out and passed the car before the control line.
Bit hard to do considering he was the pole sitter.
Because I pushed the wave around button, but it didn't wave him and Kurt Normanson, so I had to do it manually, and by the time I figured that out, it put them to the back, so I do apologise about that. But yeah, you're not allowed to pass a car in front of you for position until you cross the start-finish line. It's an iRacing thing. It's done it by itself.
Copy that. All right.
Yeah, on the initial start, though, he had the pole. They took off, got going, and he had to pit. Like on the second lap.
Okay.
On lap 2, 44 seconds.
Yeah.
Well, he probably only had, I don't know. I honestly don't know. I didn't see that. I was too busy dealing with a wild number 83, and who did he crash into? I believe a 264.
Yeah. Yep. Haycock and King, that's right. That was a monster shun in the early stages.
And this guy's got the rocket boosters on tonight.
Yeah, Sam Catacizina, what a run he's had. 24.445, faster than anyone on the racetrack right now. And to the high side on Fred Kahn. Not going to get by. Quick switchback, up and under, down the main straight. Drag race. Catacizina with the inside running to one. It didn't work earlier against Adam Lavis, and he backs out of it now.
Well, the way it didn't work, he worked it against everybody else, but Adam was taking his air. He took a middle to high line through 1 and 2, and that's what Sam was using to cross people up. But Sam seems to be using about 2 to 3 laps, going 2 to 3 laps shorter, than the front guys. So maybe the front guys are on a leaner fuel mix, and Sam's flat out Brussels sprout.
I was going to bring that up actually. Prior to the safety car, guys were doing 25 laps to a tank of fuel. But I had said to Zach earlier on, you don't know what fuel mode guys are in and how much they're actually saving. Now, you'd like to say put the thing full rich and go like hell, but you can't. You've still got to manage your fuel down to the last lap. You've got to make sure that you can get there. Good evening, Trent Lavis. Thanks for joining in. So
can I just point out that Trent's probably 2 or 3 spicy colas too far into the night, considering it's still Friday night, not Saturday night.
Absolutely is.
Hello, Trent. Nice to have you on board. Go for it, Joe.
Yeah, so you've still got to be careful with running your fuel modes. You don't want to change the way you've been running your race now. Like, if Stan still goes hard, he's only going to get 22, 23 laps to a tank of fuel. He ain't going to make it on one stop. So he's got to be smart, watch his dash, keep on to his fuel number. Yeah, there may have been a little bit of Adam was, I'm going to let you go. You want to be fast, you want to go fast, go past me. I'm not going to race you because that would have mucked up Adam's fuel numbers.
And I'm gonna pour a little bit more fuel on the Trent Lavis fire there as well, because even in 1912, August 23 was a Friday. And that's why the joke is 112 years, not 100, because it adds up to being the exact same days. Catacizina's down the inside, gets by Luthwaite. Might want Lavis as well. No, backs out of that. Lavis will lead around the outside and go high. They were 3 wide there briefly on the run down the back straight. Lavis, Catacizina, Luthwaite race in 3. How good is this? Catacizina goes high around the final corner. Lavis continues to, he's controlled this beautifully from the front for much of the night. Now the task is to withstand the pressure of Catacizina, and Luthwaite's there, and Fred Kahn makes it a 4-way fight at the front. The gap to Jackson Dial. Bevan Moyes has got himself back to 6th spot. It's a one-stop race from here. We're on lap 90. We're going to be good on time, well and truly. 42 3/4 minutes gone. Catacizina's to the outside, up against the wall.
This here the race will be decided in the pits. How accurate are you when you stop in your pit box? How much fuel are you taking on? And how good was your in and out laps? Because the top 5 here covered by what?
Here he goes.
5 seconds?
Catacizina's to the lead. Catacizina wants to lead this one from the front. He was the first one to pull the trigger in the second stint. He's done it again. Lavis, Luthwaite, Kahn, Dial. Yeah, you're right. Top 6 covered by 3.2. Back to Bevan Moyes. It's extraordinarily tight. No margin for error here. Every tenth is costly. And Greg Heaney's in 10th place, still on the lead lap. Has fallen behind Kurt Nommensen. Dave Oliver is 8th, having got himself back into contention here. 17 seconds covers the top 10. But it's a race in 5. And maybe 6 very shortly if Bevan Moyes can latch back on. And I wouldn't bet against it because he's had magnificent, scintillating pace for much of the night.
Oh, he's always fast. Now, one thing, strategy-wise, Aidan Luthwaite doesn't need to jump into the battle with Sam. If Sam's only been doing 22, 23 laps to a tank of fuel, he isn't going to make it. Now, Adam and Aidan can probably benefit by Sam leading here.
Exactly.
And use the draft. Let him use the fuel. Those guys need to use the draft. Be smart, be calculated. Run your own race. Don't, if some guy gets out in front when you're limited on fuel like this, don't run with them, let him lead.
Scott Jordan's in the pit lane. Liam Haycock's been there for 8 minutes. He's out of business. But Scott Jordanson's now on pit road, boys.
Last lap through, second through to sixth, all did 24.7s. Sam did a 24.4.
Yeah. Well, 25 zeros and 24.8, so he was 2 tenths up on everybody. Yeah, it's a really aggressive drive from Katakizinas at this point. The critical moments of this race are just a couple of minutes away, because that's when the last round of pit stops will play out. Katakizinas, Lavis, Luthwaite, Khan, Dial. There would have been a few people at home that are new to our IndyCar series, Nick, that would have been scratching their head on lap 4 when there wasn't a yellow thrown for that monumental shunt. But it's within the rules of the club, and they're rules that you've written personally for the IndyCar series. That's right, yeah. So there's rules to limit yellow flags, because as Joe and myself have previously discussed, and we both know that if you leave it for iRacing to decide the yellows, especially on ovals, 90% of your race is going to be lapping behind the safety car. It's boring as all. Exactly. Yeah, you're not going to get in the 125 that you want to race to. That's for sure. And we want to race. Oh, absolutely. Have a look at this. That's Jackson Dial and Bevan Moyes going at it now for 5th and 6th. They're only a second off the top 4. Katakizinas has bolted 7 tenths of a second to the good. We're on lap 98. The critical lap to 99 and 100 as far as I'm concerned. Yep. A lot of these guys managed to get 26 laps to their first stint and 25 to their second. Down the inside, Bevan Moyes is in the top 5. For the first time since lap 2, Bevan Moyes is in the 5.
Heaney's pitted, and I think by the lap that he pitted on, he's out of the running. He's going to be battling to take the first double-digit finish in 7th at the moment. He's on the lap there with Eduardo and Jamie, I think. So, yeah, he won't get to the end now without stopping again. So, yeah, unfortunate for Greg. Maybe he didn't fill it up on the last stop. I'm not too sure, but this is a hell of a battle, guys. This is great.
Here comes Jackson Dial. He was driving down to pit road. He's not the only one. Katakizinas is in as well. That's the critical lap, lap 100. They're all in, 25 to go, except for Lavis, Luthwaite, Moyes and Khan. They've all managed to get an extra lap out of the tank. So too Dave Oliver. That's not surprising. We know he's a very good operator on the fuel front. Here they come. Here they come. All to pit road, the top 4. Lavis, Luthwaite, Moyes, Khan, Vizza, Oliver, Nommensen can't be too far away. Dial, Katakizinas the first to pull the trigger as far as that top 7 were concerned. I just saw Sam jump off the jack, so he's got brand new tyres for his final stint. These guys will be safe on fuel. Those other guys will be cutting it close. That's actually a good point. Who took tyres and when? Have they all kept them in the tank handy? Ready for this run to the checkered flag. We wait and see. Adam Lavis pulls into his pit box now. Aidan Luthwaite's there. Bevan Moyes as well. 1, 2 and 3 on the grid. 1, 2 and 3 on the track.
Yep, they both went up.
Bevan's not taking tyres. He's got track position.
Bevan Moyes.
Going to be a hell of a slog to get the win without fresh tyres.
Sam's coming around the outside of turn 1.
And bloody Kurt Nommensen led this race momentarily, because he managed to get an extra lap on all of them. He's only stopping on lap 102. Katakizinas and Lavis almost coming together.
Wow, that was close. That was a layer of paint.
Nommensen to pit road. He's only got to get 23 laps to the checkered flag. Greg Heaney would love the extra couple of laps of fuel that Nommensen's got out of his tank, and he's given the early stop there. Dave Oliver's got to 7th. Wayne Vizza to 6th. Jackson Dial to 5th. Aidan Luthwaite is 4th. Bevan Moyes the leader. Sam Katakizinas has come out in 2nd, and Adam Lavis 3rd. So the order has been jumbled up somewhat, with Moyes now back to where he started the night. That is a magnificent, phenomenal comeback. And I was mentioning to Joe in the call, Nick, that the onus was on Moyes to unlap himself and go from being 2 laps down to 1 lap down on the effective race leader, who was Adam Lavis at the time, just in case he could be ahead of the train going into that pit stop sequence with the competition caution. Not giving away the details that we knew when the competition caution was falling, of course.
Oh, Bevan's done a fantastic job. I mean, like I said, I accidentally I pushed the wave lap around car button, and it didn't wave him around, so had to do it manually. He's got himself back on the lead lap. Clawed and scratched his way into the top 5, and then didn't take tyres on that final stop, which means his tyres are nice and warm leaving pits.
Yeah.
And he's got a lead on. Vincent Normanson yet again. Here comes Dave Oliver.
To be fair as well, Dave Oliver's down on the inside here. So Normanson, unfortunately, has lost a couple of laps on these guys. Brett Kahn, Greg Heaney. Heaney and Kahn remain on the lead lap, but they are well off the pace. Katakazinas goes to the front. Moyes is now second. An out-and-out fight between these two. Moyes back down the inside, can't get it done at one. What's interesting is, had that competition caution not fallen where it had, or had Moyes still been 2 laps down, he would have been out of business. The fact that he was able to get back to within a lap and then get round, join the back of the queue, then get the wave by, it's all worked beautifully into his playing court tonight, despite that stop and hold on lap 2. Moyes trails Katakazinas by 0.6 of a second. Katakazinas is going like a scalded cat here. Look at this. Jackson Kyle gets by Aiden Luthwaite to go to 4th.
Nothing like battling on the back foot for Bevan Moyes, and he's good at it when he gets on the back foot. It's an exceptional drive. So far, drive of the night to come back from his first lap shenanigans.
I don't know who that lap traffic was in the background there, but finally Aiden Luthwaite's found a way by. Can go back chasing his teammate. Whiskey Business running 4-5 at the moment. Aussie Races 3, Sharpie IT 2, Velocity Sim Lab 1. 4 different teams in the top 5 at the moment. Some of the best in the trade. In the business, plying their trade tonight, doing a marvellous job. Katakazinas leads. Moyes is second under pressure from Adam Lavis now. 16 to go in Illinois.
I think the tyres are what's letting Bevan down now. He obviously used the set early. He must have run out. What do we have tonight, Nick? 3 sets?
Yeah, it's always 3 sets. Roughly 4 stints a race, 3 sets.
Yeah, so whether Bevan's accidentally taken a set early, or if it was a choice of his not to change the tyres in that stop to get track position, I probably would have taken tyres if I had them. That's why I'm figuring he probably had run out of tyres. So he might fade a little bit here, but I don't think top 3 is going to be out of the realms of possibility for him.
So a full tank is roughly 7 seconds, and a tank without, a tank with tyres is roughly 7 seconds. A full tank without tyres is roughly 6 seconds. So he saved time in the stop there, but now he's paying it back.
Yeah, 6.5 second stop he had, and Sam Katakazinas and Adam Maverick were both around the 11.5, 11.6 mark.
Madison, Illinois, St. Louis turning it on tonight. It's been magnificent. And still this battle for second rages. The question is, can they latch back onto Sam Katakazinas? Jordanson and Haycock still on pit road. Forget about them. They're out of contention tonight. The reality is, Lavis with the sun down the inside of the final corner. Bevan Moyes to withstand the pressure momentarily. Lavis tucks back in. The reality is we're down to 13 runners in this race with 12 laps to go. Katakazinas' lead. He's latching up onto the back of lap traffic. It's only 0.8 of a second. Lavis to the inside again. This time he gets by Bevan Moyes. This time he gets by. Moyes forces the issue, fights him around the outside, still makes the high line work. Lavis trails by a car length in the fight for second. The championship leader is facing some stiff competition tonight.
Great battle of these guys. Both exceptional at their trades, and they're just putting on the best race. We know Bevan's struggling on tyres, so to be battling Mav like he is, and Mav's got another run here up the inside. Cross
the up and under
for another lap on lap 116. He should nearly get it done here. And he's got him cleared. Well done, Adam.
Brilliant. Now, he's a second down on Katakazinas. Can he find something in the final 9 laps? Katakazinas up 13 spots. Dave Oliver up 11. They're the big movers of the night. It's not even a contest for anybody else. Lavis trails by 0.8. Katakazinas has 2 lap cars ahead. They are Whiskey Business cars, I do believe. So that would be Greg Heaney would be one of those, and so too would be Fred Kahn. So they're about to actually drop off the lead lap. So that'll take us down to 7 on the lead lap with 8 laps to go. It's only half a second. Lavis is coming home with a wet sail. Katakazinas is about to find out why Adam Lavis is the championship leader here, I think. What sort of role do these Whiskey Business Racing entries have to play in this final few laps?
I think they're helping Sam because they're going to help him save fuel.
That's exactly what he needs to do. That's exactly what he needs to do. But now he's got to worry about A, saving fuel, B, the lap traffic, and C, the fact that Adam Lavis is now within 0.4 of a second of him. 6 to go next time by the line.
Sam will
It'll be
start getting
over
impatient.
about 2.5 minutes, folks. Quickest round of the year in terms of average speed so far. We're going to be done well and truly inside the 65 minutes.
Aiden Luthwaite's just got by his teammate. That's important when it comes to the championship. But up the front
Well,
here.
not only that, Dave Oliver's fourth. The Whiskey Business boys, they're fighting over. Oh, actually, Greg Heaney's going out of it. And he had to stop.
For the lead.
And Lavis. So still Fred Kahn's out there, not yet going a lap down. We believe he's good to get the checkered flag. But right now, Katakazinas has Adam Lavis all over him like a cheap suit. As though the 100 million's on the line last night in Powerball. That's what they're fighting for at the moment, figuratively. The championship lead is there to be retained and extended and built on by Adam Lavis. One way or another. Greg Heaney will get to the checkered flag, but he'll be fighting with Kurt Nommensen for the last places in the top 10 now. Katakazinas and Lavis.
He's got to run. Adam's got to run.
3 to go at the line. Lavis fires it down the inside. He's there, he's got him. Lavis has got him. To the lead again goes Adam Lavis. Now Katakazinas will have a chance to respond. He's got 3 laps to do it. This is over in 1.25 minutes, ladies and gentlemen. It'll be bang on 58 minutes. No worries on time certainty here. This will run full distance. Katakazinas still has 2 laps to try and find a way by to respond to the pressure from Adam Lavis. He led this when Bevan Moyes pulled onto pit road. He led this to the first round of pit stops. He led us to the caution. And now he's going to lead us potentially to the white flag as well. Oh, lap traffic in the road here. Here we go. Fred Kahn's going to pull Adam Lavis along. Bevan Moyes is still there as well. 5th car in shot. He gets by the lap traffic as well now. Not long to go. That's Eduardo Zamora just incidentally. What? There, more round. Let's go. Lavis has got 3 car lengths on Katakazinas.
Oh, Sam's in.
Katakazinas with a big send at 1. Wasn't too big. Let's wait and see. Back straight. Final time. Can Lavis find a way by Kahn to ease the pressure? No. Katakazinas a massive send around the outside. Oh, you kidding me? Sam Katakazinas steals it at the death. In only a moment that Scott McLaughlin could relate to going back to Texas a couple of years ago. Sam Katakazinas from
Fireworks back straight. Go to an aerial shot, Joe. Fireworks back there. Looks good. Especially with this kind of finish. There it is.
Katakazinas. Oh, you beauty.
6 from 6.
6 rounds, 6 different winners. Zach, that's exceptional.
Wow.
Your heart almost breaks for Adam. He put the move on. He had the lead and just couldn't quite get it done. Sam absolutely got the bit between his teeth, and he wasn't going to let that one go. That's for sure. Congratulations.
My goodness gracious me. We'll have a look at the results for you in just a moment, folks. We've got a bit of time to kill here because we've finished about 6 minutes earlier than usual. 59 minutes is all it took. Magnificent stuff. 125 laps, decided by 0.116 of a second. Bevan Moyes in for third, Dave Oliver. That was we did not even get a chance to highlight that Dave Oliver had found a way by Aidan Luthwaite, who'd found a way by Jackson Dial. We'd covered the teammate story and all of that, Dial and Luthwaite had swapped around in their little inner team battle. But we didn't get a chance to point out that Dave Oliver also gained 13 spots tonight. Katakazinas and Oliver, biggest movers on track, up 13 apiece. Katakazinas gets it because he's higher up than Oliver on the finishing order, of course. But my goodness, that's a great, actually, flying under the radar-like drive from Dave Oliver. Aidan Luthwaite in for fifth. Jackson Dial, Wayne Visser, Fred Kahn, Greg Heaney, Kurt Nommensen the top 10. Kurt can be happy with that. Greg got back out in the end, despite that late dive to pit lane for the smallest amount of fuel. He got back out well clear of Nommensen to finish ninth. Barker was 3 laps down in the end, or 4 laps down actually at the end. Sam King, another couple of laps further back, just ahead of Eduardo Zamora. And then Scott Jordanson won't quite be classified on 75% distance. Liam Haycock either. And then Phil King and Daniel Yeaman parked up a long time ago. Kurt Nommensen and Liam Haycock have just joined us in the booth, Nick. But yeah, quickly some thoughts from you. As you say, 6 weeks, 6 different winners, and that's one of the best finishes Gateway's ever seen.
I know exactly how Adam feels. I think I lost Las Vegas by a tip of a nose cone, if I remember correctly. So yeah, it sucks, and I could see that lap car being a possible, I guess a basketball term, pick and roll there, because I had flashbacks to Michigan 2000 with Montoya and Andretti, and I thought Andretti had it in the bag, and then Montoya drafted up and got past him just before the line because of the lap car. So these things happen, and you get better at these things with more experience, and so Adam will put that one away, and that won't ever happen again, I guarantee you.
My mate Craig is tuning in Wagga as per usual, or in Gundagai I should say. He said that's the best of the Indycar and Oval races he's seen on the GSRC platforms. I mean, oval racing isn't for everybody, and we know that, but that's right up there in the upper echelons of the best of them, what we've just seen tonight.
And within this club, Adam's got a bit of a lock on this place. I think he's won 2 out of the last 3 times, or now 4 times here.
Yeah. Well, I mean, at least he's consistent. He's still right there at the pointy end.
Well, that's it. I don't think he'll come in for an interview, though. I'll go check on him.
Yeah, please do. And give him our regards, will you? He put on a great show tonight. Pipped at the post by the man on screen, who we'll hear from in just a moment. Mate, that was extraordinary. If you didn't enjoy that, you're very difficult to please. Really good stuff. Props to Dave Oliver. Also, Wayne Visser up 5 spots, but that spin in pit lane really cost him, didn't it? Well done to Kurt Nommensen, a top 10 finish, and he even led a lap as well. So he'll be quite happy with himself when we hear from him in just a few moments' time. Can we just quickly also, since we've got a few extra minutes up our sleeve in the post-race show here, can we just quickly tip the hat and acknowledge what's been a very good week on the international stage for some Queenslanders. Firstly, Lee Diffie, of course, with NBC losing IndyCar rights, he's been promoted up the chain there to lead their NASCAR Cup Series commentary starting this weekend with the Daytona 400.
Oh, really?
Diffie's a legend. Yeah, we love Diffie's work. So if you're watching on Sunday morning on Fox and you hear a familiar voice, you now know that it's one of our own, the great Lee Diffie. So, I mean, NASCAR switches around networks throughout the course of the season. You won't hear him all year, but the run to the checkered flag each year will be with the best in the business, our own Lee Diffie. That was the big crash early in the race that we will go back and have another look at later on as well. And secondly, of course, the big breaking news this afternoon is that the son of the 5-time world motorcycle champion Mick Doohan, Jack Doohan, has been promoted up into Formula One with a full-time drive with Alpine from next year. So, I mean, that's been a while coming because he's been in their ranks for a little bit, and he will join Pierre Gasly there next season. So that's been a big day for Jack, and it's been a big week for Australians on the international stage. So well done, and we cannot now wait for the Australian Grand Prix in March to see Oscar and Jack do their thing, and who knows, maybe Daddy Rick still manages to salvage a seat somewhere. As slim a hope as it is at the moment. Let's get stuck into the post-race show here on the platforms of the GSRC, and quickly I want to acknowledge, because normally we have an intermission and normally we have time to do this twice, so let me just quickly acknowledge there wasn't too much time to take a breath tonight. It was extraordinary. Let me just quickly acknowledge the people that do it for us and make it possible for us to do it each and every week, and they are Sprayton Ciders, Waste Options, merch.tg, srci.com, Orbic Australia, Loebsy Racing, M-Wave Australia, and Flash Graphics. A big thanks to them for their ongoing support of what we do here on the platforms of the GSRC. We're week 7 is at an end, week 6, round 6 of the Indycar series. Sam Katakazimis is here, Liam Haycock's here, Kurt Nomenson's here. Sam, 6 different winners in 6 weeks, and from 14th on the bloody grid and saving it till the last corner of the last lap, mate. Extraordinary stuff. Well done.
I'll take it. I was getting a bit confused as to whether it was a lap time or whether it was a lap race or a time race, and I think that caught me out a little bit. And I let the guy through, and last lap I was very fortunate that Adam got balked, and I had the momentum, and I was able to just keep him at the line because I thought there was a couple more laps to go, and I was starting to do the fuel saving towards the end to get the car there. So
as a result of that, I think you might owe Fred Kahn and Whiskey Business Racing a bit of whiskey after that. If he was the lap car.
Yeah, okay. I think he should give me some whiskey as being a winner.
Well, true, but he did help you get the win. You see what I'm saying? No, let's straighten up a little bit.
It is unfortunate for Adam.
It is. But that's racing, isn't it?
If Fred wasn't there, I don't think I could have had him. Yeah, again, next time when I'm out here, it's a lap race, and I've got to keep an eye on the lap counter and not on the timer. Which
and also the fuel tank as well, mate.
Yeah, look, I understood now how things work in this league in terms of yellows and safety cars and whatnot. Because the first time I was here, I was over at Auto Speed Club, and I got it all wrong. I thought there was going to be a competition yellow, but I thought there was going to be other racing yellows.
Yep.
And that didn't happen, and my race was screwed. This time I've come in, I'm prepared, and I was unable to make quali because of stuff around the house. But yeah, got enough practice to figure out what I wanted with my setup. And yeah, I was working the weight jacker through the field, and that was my winning ticket. Without that weight jacker, I don't think I could carry speed, especially behind cars.
So good was the race tonight for our audience at home. You heard me mention that we had AFL, NRL to get to tonight in terms of going around the grounds. We never got a chance to go around the grounds. Not one mention at all. The Eels currently leading the Broncos at Suncorp. My housemate will be happy. He's there at the ground. He's a parochial Parramatta supporter. 16-12 at the moment. And in the AFL, well, Collingwood 8-5-53 leading Melbourne 5-4-34 in the third quarter. So more on that a little bit later on. Hey, Sam, stay with me here because from 14th on the grid. So let's just highlight that for a moment. Outside of the 7th row, had to avoid a little bit of drama early. But what went wrong in qualifying, do you mind me asking?
I had to do around the house, got called for attention, and particularly couldn't do my 5 minutes of 2 laps.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I don't live alone here, and sometimes life gets a little bit more priority than qualifying.
Well, it worked. It clearly worked for you. You had great pace. I mean, and also in the closing stages there, it wasn't just Adam Lavis that you were contending with, but you also had to withstand the pressure of Bevan Moyes, who was there when the whips were cracking, as we suspected he would be.
We had some pretty good drivers up the front, and I was always trying to find a way to overtake if I could get the opportunity, but it ended up turns 1 and 2 were never great for a clean pass. It always ended up being turns 3 and 4 where I could do a pass and keep the speed up and not lose momentum on the exit. Turns 1 and 2 where I found to be difficult. You could get up beside him, you could drop low, but they were there on the outside and you couldn't use the outside track and you just lost exit speed. So the idea was to keep behind them in turn 1 and 2, and if they had a bit of a slip, that's the opportunity to accelerate, be beside them for 3, 4.
Greg Heaney Greg Heaney just ducked down into racing, tried to have a chat to Nick Fodiatis. So I reckon he's petitioning to up your penalty to 2 bottles of whiskey so that he gets some as well. That's neither here nor there. Talk to me about. I mean, obviously, you talk about the ovals. Do we see you try and get in here and run the road courses, or are you an oval specialist?
I love my ovals. When I first started iRacing, ovals was great, and I found out I was pretty good at them. And then I eventually started getting into road stuff. And I wasn't so great with road, to be honest.
You jest.
So, yeah, I found out that the less I brake, the better I drive. So ovals is really nice for me. Yeah. Road courses that have little braking, I do good. Road courses that are like technical and lots of full braking, I'm okay. I keep screwing things up. But yeah, out of the two, I love oval. Oval is very nice, very comfortable, and I really do enjoy it. And open wheel racing, and a nice crowd of drivers who pretty much tonight was pretty cool. Like, no one was acting funny, no one was being funny. Everyone was defending just as they should, but no one was going over and beyond trying to save the position. So it was nice, you know. And even a couple of times I had to balk and get someone past me, and I thought, let it go. I'll get back to them. So yes, out of the two, I would say oval is. I'm more comfortable with oval.
Yeah.
But I do enjoy both oval and road racing.
Talk to me quickly. Then in that case, because we've got a little bit of a dilemma here, right? And I want the thoughts of Liam Haycock and Kurt Normanson on this as well. Just heads up, boys. We lost round 2, which was scheduled to be at the Red Bull Ring due to the global IT outage on that day, right?
Yeah.
When the world learnt a valuable lesson,
that
technology is, yeah, exactly. That technology is not foolproof, and is not without its faults. Yeah, exactly. It was just the wake up reality check we all needed. Cash is king, etc., and so forth. Now, yes. But as a result of that, right, at the moment, the way things stand. Indianapolis, the Motor Speedway there is scheduled for September 13th, so 3 weeks today. And we're scheduled to come back for round 10 at the Red Bull Ring, which is the rescheduled round 2, the week after, September 20. There's a couple of discussion points here, and it's going to be taken to a vote. I want your thoughts on this. Would you, if you're a traditionalist, do you want to see the Indianapolis Motor Speedway end the season, so those 2 rounds switch, and we come back on September 20 for Indianapolis? Do you want to see the season end with Indianapolis on September 13 and lose the Red Bull Ring altogether? If you had a say in this, which way would you lean? Indianapolis September 13 or September 20, and 9 rounds or 10?
I would like both Red Bull and Indianapolis to be in, and I'd like Indianapolis to be the finale.
There we go. I'm liking. He's welcome back here anytime, Joe. He's talking common sense. I'm all for it. I love it when people come in here and talk sensible.
Like all facets of life, you always love to leave your best till last.
Yeah, exactly.
You don't eat your sweets before the entree, right? You've got to do it the other way around.
No,
So.
not at all.
Yep.
Not at all.
You can't have Indianapolis not last. Come on.
Exactly. It's a bit like when we go to the supercars, the mountain has to be the last. I get exactly what you're saying. All right, well, that's one vote for Indy. You're not okay, we're not expecting to see you for the road courses next week, but it is Mugello. I mean, if you were to turn up, are you familiar with Mugello?
I will be turning up.
You are turning up. Oh,
Yeah.
okay. So
I didn't turn up last week because I was prepping for the Conspit Endurance 24-hour at Le Mans.
Okay.
So I was with my teammates working on setups,
So we will
finalising
see you next
schedules
week.
and so on. So yeah, last week was not a league type thing for me. It was
Copy that.
But I'm back into routine now.
Excellent. Well, that's what we like to hear, mate. And I'm just having a look down the list here. Okay, so we saw you in round 4 and we saw you in round 5. So that explains why I haven't crossed paths with you yet, because I think I was here for round 3 and you were here the 2 weeks after. So as a result of that, let's straighten up and talk about, obviously we got Indianapolis and we got the Red Bull Ring to come, we know that. Between that, 2 very different circuits, Mugello and Magny-Cours. What are your thoughts?
Bring them on. I'm not bothered by them. I like both of them. But
I've got a dog barking upstairs, gents. Hopefully you can't hear it, but I can through the headphones. And there'll be a rolled up TV week in my hand as soon as this broadcast is done. Now,
yeah, bring them on. I like I said, I do enjoy road racing, so the newer tracks as well. Bring them on. I'm looking forward to it.
and by the way, before the woke brigade among you start having your way with my comments just now, it's a rolled up TV week that only has to get waved in the general direction of the dog. I don't have to use it, but it knows the right from wrong. Now, very quickly, Sam, well done. Congratulations. Great win. A magnificent drive. Look forward to seeing what you do on the road courses in the next couple of weeks, mate. Go well. Enjoy the rest of the weekend.
Appreciate it. Thank you very much. Thank you to the league for putting this together. Thanks for the drivers for making it a great race. And, I appreciate the broadcasting as well. So, see you next week, guys.
Yeah, well, and I just want to add too, Sam, I was saying during the broadcast that you and I, our racing history goes back about 7 years. Haven't seen you much lately, but it's great to see you now joined in and part of the club, mate. So I hope you enjoy it and you get a bit of joy. There's plenty of racing almost every night. So, good to see you in the club, mate, and you haven't lost any of your speed that you had 7 years ago. So, congratulations. I think that's your first win with the gents, is it?
I do believe so, yes.
Congratulations, mate. Well done.
Thanks for the kind words, Joe. Thank you very much.
Sam. Thanks, mate.
All the best, mate. Have a great weekend. Thanks.
Bye.
Race winner Sam Katakazina, 6 in 6. Not the first time we've been talking those sorts of numbers in Indycar on the platforms of the GSRC. I mean, there have been a couple of incarnations of this championship now where we've been talking about someone finally, when is someone finally going to break through and double up and grab that second win? We thought it was going to be Adam Lavis tonight. After the heroics of Spa a few weeks ago, it wasn't to be. Just extraordinary stuff. Now, the good news is, folks, obviously as well, given that we were off air last week, that was just through circumstances at Joe's end, we couldn't be on air. Good news is, touch wood, fingers crossed, everything being fair and equal, we're on air for the last 4 rounds of the championship. 3 road courses, 1 oval. Based on what we've seen thus far, well worth the price of admission if you're not doing anything else on a Friday night to be here front and centre for that. Liam Haycock's here, so too Kurt Nommensen. Hey, Liam, not the easiest night out.
No, not at all. I wasn't expecting anything, and then I couldn't get the car to turn. Like, I couldn't practice. So that's what caused that massive wreck at the start of the race, and from there I was just pushing to try. Yes, that would be the one.
Just rub it in.
I haven't been hovering over that
the side of them.
Yeah, I haven't been hovering over that for 10 minutes because I knew we were going to have a chat to you, but it's, yeah.
Yeah, it drifted up into the side of him, and then I went over his front wing, which sent me into the catch fence. And then I was just pushing to try and have hopes of getting back to the lead lap on the safety car until on the safety car was just a mess because I was being told to go by and then told to wait, and everything was just super confusing. And then I caught up to the pack on the last lap, and they came out of nowhere on my screen, and so I brake locked up and into the wall. And afterwards I realized it didn't matter anyway because I was 4 laps down, so my race was done by then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I was going to say you didn't necessarily have to go full tilt to be back on the train of the safety car, but in saying that, yeah, it does creep up on you sometimes, and that I guess it's nothing more than a knee-jerk reflex action, is it? As soon as you think, oh, hang on, I'm in a bit of strife here, too late, the car's checked up and sending you into concrete. Apart from that, I mean, obviously it must have been nice to be able to get back out there and turn some laps despite that early race incident.
Definitely. I've never actually properly raced oval before. Most I've done was 1 race in the ARCA at Charlotte, and that's it. So it was fun to, while I was running, it was super fun, and especially with the night race and everything.
Yeah, there it is. There it is.
Yep.
I thought I'd gone past it, sorry.
I didn't Joe, I didn't realise that bit of the gateway bitumen was a trampoline, actually. Did you see how beautifully that just launched onto the ground and bounced back up again? Better show it one more time for the benefit of everyone at home. Here it is. Have a look at this. Now, as we do that, as we go back and marvel in the brilliance of the pirouette and the gymnastics on show there, talk to me about what your sim racing schedule looks like for the next 7 days, mate, and obviously your thoughts on Mugello. That's the next stop for the Indycars.
Well, I'm definitely gonna run Mugello. Tomorrow I'm gonna do IMSA with someone from LSR. Hopefully that goes well. And the what car was it? The Corvette GT3. So that'll be fun. And then Sunday I'm gonna be doing Indycar iRacing series at Watkins. Mugello will be quite fun. Hopefully I can stay in the top 3 laps to actually finish, but from here I'm just lining the car for the rest of the season, hoping there's another IndyCar series next season here.
If the powers that be get their way, I think there will be. I mean, it's always one of the more competitive championships on our schedule.
That's good to hear.
There goes that.
Looking forward to it.
Liam, good luck with the IMSA stuff, and we look forward to seeing you on the grid next Friday night, mate. Thanks for that.
All right, thank you.
The Whiskey Business Report coming up in just a moment, ladies and gentlemen. Firstly, the Locked Up Report. And Kurt, I'm not sure if your team leader, Chris Starks, had a chat to anybody in the team tonight, but you're not supposed to end up in the wars on pit lane.
Yeah, I had a couple of mishaps with the pits. My pit limiter didn't go on at the end, so I got a speed in pit lane. I pushed the button and got nothing, so that's why I went a couple laps down. I think if I didn't go those couple laps down, I had a really good shot at getting a high top 10 finish, because I was fuel saving the entire race, and yeah, that got me that lead for that 1 lap before I had to pit in.
Indeed, and I was going to say that actually did work to your favour. The fact that you were on the lead lap there for a bit. You've obviously finished a lap or so down, but you're on the lead lap for a bit. You managed to stay on the lead lap right up until well, I think you were one lap down going into the caution. That got you lead the lap back. You're back on the lead lap. 1 of 10 cars on the lead lap. And then all of a sudden, our timing screen's lighting up saying Kurt Nolmanson's leading this bloody thing, because we were absorbed in the battle going on up the front. We didn't realise that you'd managed to get an extra lap out of it. So that actually worked, but at the same time, green flag pit stops proved to be costly. Obviously, that moment there where Viz and yourself were lining up for team photo, it looked like. And then the other moment, of course, as you say, with the pit lane speed limiter. But all in all, a smooth run and a top 10 finish, mate. You've ticked the box.
Yeah, definitely could have been a bit smoother. Just try not to, hit Liam on the first lap, and then just a few other little spins that were happening in front of me, and just trying not to hit other cars. But other than that, smooth running for the race, and definitely getting better at driving the oval. I couldn't get it to run in practice, and then in the race, I was able to keep a good fuel-save pace and keep it close to the lead lap as I could while saving as much fuel as possible.
It's hard to avoid hitting them when everybody's so bunched up for 1 and 2 when they're bouncing off walls and bitumen as well. That being said, mate, the Illinois racetrack gateway here, Worldwide Technology Raceway, it's not the easiest in the world. It looks deceptively simple, but high speed and high risk as well. Those two bankings, I mean, it's very minimal banking compared to some speedways that we go to, but 2 corners and distinctly different, and they make and break the lap for you, don't they?
Yeah, definitely. If you get that first corner wrong, you just don't have the pace going down that second straight, and it kills the entire lap time. So, and then if you run it in too deep in the last corner, you've killed your momentum for the very next lap. So definitely a lot to work on, and it's not as easy as it looks. Very, very difficult track, but a lot of fun.
Indeed. And we've got Dave Oliver joining us in the booth now as well, and had it not been for Sam Katagazinas being summoned for family duties instead of being in the sim and qualifying, Dave would have had the most positions gained tonight. It's just how it works out sometimes. Hey, Kurt, one thing actually that we all picked up on during practice was that you were working the high line. Was that a place of comfort for you in terms of just making the most of your speed and your lap times?
It was more just in practice. I was just seeing if I could find a little bit more pace. I did find a bit of pace, and then during the race I tried something different, and that seemed to work. So because the high line started to just lose that grip halfway through the race, so I sort of had to bring it down because it was starting to get all the marbles up on the high line.
All right, mate. What's your schedule look like for the next 7 days? I know real world commitments creep in and work creeps in, but as far as the sim racing is concerned, obviously we'll be seeing you Monday night, and then obviously on the back end of this comment, I want to ask you about Magello. But firstly, what's the next 7 days look like?
So I think I'm gonna try and do some IMSA tomorrow night. Tomorrow afternoon when I get home from work, and maybe do some GT endurance on Sunday, and then focus mainly on the supercars and this for the next week. I'm really cutting back, just with work and everything else. I don't have the time to focus on every series like I want to.
Copy. Magello, we've been there a bit already this season, but next week Indycar, different test.
Yeah, very different, and definitely gonna run a few laps in the middle of the week to try and get some feel for the car around there, and see if there's anything that the Locked Up boys or anyone else can sort of point out that I'm messing up.
All right, mate. Well done again. A top 10 finish, and not too far off Greg Heaney there in the end as well. Well done. All the best for the weekend. Sorry, Nick, was that you chiming in?
I was just coughing. Still got the cough.
Okay. Copy that. No, I saw someone's name light up, but I couldn't pick it up. Hey, Kurt, thank you, mate. Appreciate you stopping on by for a chat. Go well for the weekend, and we'll see you Monday.
Yep, see you Monday.
Well done, Kurt.
Yeah, indeed. Greg Haney, the Whiskey Business Report. Let's do it. Really. So I'm looking at the timing screen leading up to the start, and I even mentioned it on the call. I was like, there's an imposter out there. I couldn't work out who the bloody hell you'd recruited next. And next thing, I'm looking at Scott Jordanson's livery and thinking, hang on, it's not 75 SimSport anymore.
Yes.
So 5 on the racetrack, mate. Almost a third of the field.
Yeah, I was actually surprised. Like Scott said, so was it the other day? We had a practice session up for another series. I think it was for GT3s. I think. Yeah, it was GT3s. We had a session up, and Scott was in Dangerous Yarns, and so I jumped over and we were just chatting and turning laps and whatnot. And I said to him jokingly, I said, I've got a Ferrari livery that'd look pretty good on that. And he's like, okay. So I didn't really have to twist his arm terribly hard.
I didn't have to get the checkbook out, or
no. And then he's mentioned. No, didn't have to fork over the check or anything like that. So that was all good. But no, it was just he made mention that. So for representing Whiskey Business, he's going to do it in GSRC. Outside of GSRC, he's obviously still going to represent 75 SimSports. So he hasn't completely cut ties with them. He's just going to cut ties with them for us.
It hasn't completely converted, yes. So and you've got a similar situation already in place within the GSRC ranks.
Yes, with one Matt Schmidtke.
Yes, who was MIA tonight.
Yeah. So, yeah, it would have been him running around in Aussie Racer colours tonight had he been here, and obviously with all of our boys. So.
Oh, boy. All right, mate. Talk me through it, because at one point there I'm watching and you're in third. Where did it go wrong from there? I mean, I'm sensing that we didn't crunch the numbers right come the fourth pit stop, and that might have been, the third pit stop, and that might have been to your downfall because you've ended up having to come in 5 laps from home for a splash and dash.
No, it was me probably not quite paying attention to where I should have tapped the brakes and pulled 2 gears going into turn 1 and almost took my nose off on the back of Wayne Viz's car. So I think that was about 6 or 7 laps out from my third stop. No. I think it was third or fourth stop where I'd gone in too deep, a little bit too hot into turn 1. Almost took the front right half of the wing off, and which obviously compromised the front of the car. And I was just then slow. So I persevered for it as long as I could, keeping tabs on my my fuel usage per lap on the wheel and how much fuel I had left. And I thought, well, quick calculation, I'm just going to go and send it. Turns out I was wrong and 5 laps short.
Unlucky. However, not a bad night out for the rest of the stable. Although Aiden Luthwaite and Jackson Dole, it would appear as though they got caught squabbling late in the piece, and Dave Oliver's crept up on them.
Oh, they were trying to save as much fuel as they possibly could, because the safety car through our fuel strategy, which Aiden had worked out as best he could for us, it had thrown that out the window. So it caught most of us out. So those boys were just trying to save as much fuel as they could, but without a tow, it obviously compromised it a little bit further again. So they were able to make it back, but they were hopeful that maybe one of them had a little bit more fuel than the other, so they could swap places to assist with getting the other car home. But not to be.
All right. Not too bad a night out, though. Unlucky. I mean, that being said, Fred Kahn played a leading role towards the back end of the piece, didn't he? In terms of being the meat and the sandwich of that battle for the race win. He was about to go a lap down. He avoided going a lap down, but not without Adam Lavis being balked a little bit in favour of Sam Katakazinas.
Yeah, unfortunate for Adam with that one. the discussions have been had. Basically, going to leave it at that. But yeah, unfortunately, Fred didn't see Adam drop into the potential inside line as he's turned in, and I'm just going to leave it at that. So, but that unfortunately, yes, I'm sorry for Adam for not getting the win, but well done on him leading for the majority share of the race and still being at the pointy end at the end of it.
Indeed, no, it was a magnificent performance from Adam. He continues his consistent run in the championship, but yeah, that's a few points that he would have liked to have had in the kitty. We can give you the updated championship standings actually on that note before we go to Dave Oliver. Adam Lavis now 27 points clear of Aiden Luthwaite, so that's an extension. He's built on the buffer he had coming into tonight. 280 plays 253. Fred Calm 169. So they've got a good cap over the rest. Dave Oliver up into fourth, 166. Wayne Visser 164. Paul Wood 158, and Chris Noble 157. Aaron Russell 147. Ashley 134, and David Baz 119 points. Not bad. Who else did I have to ask you about? No one, actually. We've covered the box. We've covered the lot. Fred Kahn.
I will throw in.
You and Aiden. We've talked about Jackson. We've talked about Scott. Continue.
I was going to say, I will throw in that Fred almost didn't make it out of the pits on that last pit stop.
Oh, no.
Mm-hmm. He pulled into the pits and he's like, the car's just shut off. I was like, well, kick it over again. And he's like, no, with an Indy car that doesn't happen. He's like, oh, no. He basically just sank in the seat, and it's obviously then got some fuel in it and it's kicked on, and he's like, oh, good, but that's just it cost him a heap of time. So mechanical gremlins.
He's lucky
And
because
to be fair,
it
that's what
wasn't.
took him out of contention, because he was right in the thick of it going into that final round of pit stop.
Yeah,
He
was.
definitely was.
Yeah, I was going to say, lucky because not so long ago there was a glitch. If you stalled the Indycar at any stage, it would never refire.
You were stuffed, yeah.
Yeah. So he's very, very lucky. And probably lucky that Indycar fixed that faux pas as well. Or iRacing.
Like the faux pas they had with the supercars, where if you pitted, it's like, nope, you can't have your tyres and your car's stopped.
That's right, yeah. Or you could have them, but we're not going to release you.
It was a good night for the boys. And I'm hoping it looked pretty good on the stream, especially with the rolling start.
Yeah, it looked fantastic.
Somehow, I think that's 2 weeks in a row now we've managed to have the majority share of our cars down one side of the grid, because I think we did it last week too.
It was certainly noted tonight. Yellow and blue.
Well, we've got to keep Zach happy somehow.
True. Bloody impossible task, usually.
Full-time job.
Okay, yeah, exactly. I'm not even going to pretend that to defend that, because I know that I haven't got a leg to stand on. However, on that note, can you believe this, Greg? You were going okay earlier tonight.
What have I done?
Well, I was hoping you might have the NRL on left of screen.
Me? No, unfortunately not. I did this in VR, so...
Okay. You were leading at one point, but it's 30-18 with 9 minutes to play.
Is that a Storm game?
No, that's Broncos Eels.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I live in Melbourne, so it's Storm.
Yeah.
Yes, the colours of the cars might look like Eels, but definitely not.
Okay. There is someone in the club that does run the... Who is it in our club?
That'd be James Francone.
Thank you, yes. I was going to say, Francone always... Whenever I see him, because he's got blue and yellow as well, I'm surprised... Is he running Whiskey Business too, or have you yet to...
No. James. I think James runs his own team, or runs as his own team, or by himself as a privateer. But I'm fairly certain for the last 3 seasons, I think he's had I think it's been an Eels livery on the car, because it certainly looked like it's had an eel on it at some point.
And because of the blue and yellow similarities there, it always looks like a Whiskey Business entry. So I'm just waiting for him to just give in and join the fold. I'm sure you'll be reaching out to him over the weekend. You'll let us know on Monday night. Thank you, Greg.
Look, I'll see what I can do.
Yeah.
Although I'm sure I can work an eel somewhere into the side of our Bowens Timber Truss livery. So.
I'm sure you could. If anyone can do it, you can, mate. Quickly going around the grounds with the AFL, it's now pelting down at the MCG. 12-9-81, Collingwood leading Melbourne 7-5, 47. And they've just got the final quarter underway. Big time for the world of sport, of course. We've got the US Open starting up next week, the Paralympics as well. But more importantly, Indycar from Portland on Monday morning. On the back of that, our attention will turn to Magello next week. A lot going on between now and then, Greg, but Magello next week will be a beauty.
Yes, definitely will. The tight, twisty sections through turns 3, 4, 5, and 6. I think I've got that right. No, 2, 3, 4, 5 are going to be very interesting in these cars. And I would hazard a guess and say they're not going to agree terribly well with the sausage curb. So I'd be looking for, hopefully, Kurt not doing another pirouette in midair because there's no catch fence.
Yes.
But I will give him points for landing it on its wheels.
Yeah, that was very impressive. That really was. In saying that as well, here's one for you. Remember a couple of years ago they took a Formula 1 Grand Prix to Magello? They also managed to crash off a safety car restart, and it caused a red flag. And it just prompted me to think, well... Craig Bond, who I am playing F123 online with at the moment, there is one circuit that, because of all the various circumstances, they never put on the calendar. They ran on the calendar in 2020 in the real world, but it never made it to the Codemasters and EA Sports Formula 1 platform. And that is an utter disappointment to F1 fans right around the world, because I thought it was a brilliant track for Formula 1, and I reckon it'll be brilliant for IndyCar next week.
Oh, for sure. The closing speed on these cars, if you balk a corner by yourself or battling with somebody, if anybody's within a cooee of you, you're going to be caught by the next one.
Oh, yeah. Cannot wait. Magello next Friday night. We cannot wait for that. It'll be the end of, well, week 8 for us, but round 7 it will be for the IndyCar series.
I just want to ask Greg a question. How deep are your pockets, Greg? You seem to be buying drivers left, right, and centre.
I'm not buying them. I'm just offering them liveries, and they keep taking them. I mean, unless they're all just fans of... They must be just fans of whiskey.
Hang on.
You had the whole right-hand lane locked up. It was all yellow and blue down the right-hand side at the start of the race.
I know, and it looked fantastic.
But Nick, let's counter that by asking you, how many stablemates have you got in Aussie races now?
Just about everybody that was at the previous club prior to this one. So yeah.
Yeah.
Which is how many?
Enough. Ooh.
Enough. Joe's just like, I can't count that high.
Rude. I might run out of fingers here.
He says.
I'll have to get back to you on that one.
Right, copy that. I'll give you time to do that while I chat to Dave Oliver, and then I want to get some final thoughts from you and Joe anyway. Greg, looking forward to Monday night, mate. Thanks for that. Have a good weekend.
No worries. Cheers, boys.
Oh, the Whiskey Business Racing stable growing by the day, it would seem. Dave Oliver, the quiet achiever of the night, really, let's be perfectly honest. Started 17th, row 9 on this grid, and then in the end, we were so absorbed by what was going on at front with Katakizitis, Lavis and Moyes that we completely missed you. We knew that you were 6th. We don't know how you got to 4th. Talk us through the final stages of that race, mate, because up 13 spots, biggest mover of the night, equal with Sam Katakizitis. He gets the points unlucky. But, mate, what a drive around Gateway, Illinois that was for you.
Yeah, thanks. Totally unexpected. Firstly, I got half a lap of practice. I got out of the pits and then didn't rocked up, which then meant I didn't get to qualify, so I started 17th. Then I hopped on the grid with 5 seconds to go, had no sound, so then had to then start from the pits, which made 4th even more, like a win.
Yeah, actually, to be honest, I was actually going to ask you about starting from pit lane. I know you, and I know you're a fuel man, and you know your numbers, and you usually play that game well. And I thought that might have been just a little bit strategic on your part, but it turns out it was completely accidental and unintentional.
Yeah, just a complete, idiot, forgetful thing. Because truthfully, I'd actually, in the rush to go, because it was so noisy, in the rush to for dinner, actually turned the speakers off. So I actually thought that I had on the wrong setting because I was playing around with it earlier. So a bit of a goof move there. But yeah, it was a case of get on the track and, quickly relearn it. And then by halfway through, I realized I still had it on field mode 1, so I'm like, stuff it, I'll just keep on going. And I caught the front group a little bit. It was a little bit like a Olympic velodrome. They were on one half, I was on the other. So I was kind of looking at the track map every couple of laps, going, oh yeah, it looks like I've gained 100 meters here or there. So yeah, it was good, ran through all that, did a little bit of saving, but it wasn't that much. I just like, if I can at least try catch up to like some of those little gaggles, it would be good. But yeah, that other than that, like, it was pretty quiet until that last. Actually, sorry, my first pit stop, I hadn't actually done a pit entry before, and forgot. Like, I thought that the pit lane did go into the grassy area. And I thought that, and then I've rocked up and gone, I was watching the lines, and I've gone, oh no, it runs around the bottom of like a normal oval for a split second, and then it tightened up. I've gone, oh shit. So I was like, bounced along the grass. I don't think I went back up onto the track, but I went through the grass onto the apron and cut back across. I don't know, I was expecting a 2-minute penalty, and It didn't give me anything. So I'll take that. Very lucky, and I'll take that. But yeah, towards the end, it was just that last stint was just battling with Wayne there, and like, we were on this same Discord channel and stuff, so we were, just mucking around and all that kind of stuff, and I managed to do a really nice around the outside pass on him in 1 and 2, and then within, I think it was the last 5 laps, once I got past him, I realized I was catching up to Aiden Jackson and Aiden, because Aiden was behind Jackson at the time. And then 3 laps later or something like that, I've come up to him, and it's like they both brake checked, but they'll lift him to save, as I know now, they'll lift him to save fuel. So I've just flown past them, and then Aiden's slipped in behind me, and then has tried to keep up the pace. Like, he finished minuscule behind me at the end, but it was a case of he had enough fuel to kind of keep the pace in the draft.
Indeed. Made a great result, and as you say, not something you're expecting, but you'll definitely take it. When it comes to this sort of racing, circuits or ovals, we don't normally do a lot of oval racing, so how does tonight help you with applying your trade on ovals and learning that skill set, that craft?
Obviously this track's a little bit different because you've got the tighter 1 and 2, and then you could pretty much go, once the tyres warmed up and you were playing with the weight jackers, you could pretty much go flat through, if you're by yourself, you could pretty much go flat through 3 and 4. And but it's just a matter of just trying to find the line, and then when you're behind someone, you kind of had to move around a little bit, try different lines, or if you start to get more understeer, you had to quickly crank on the weight jacker and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, it's a bit of a different track, this one, compared to one of the super speedways or the the 1.5 mile tracks like we've done before, where you're pretty much pinned for an hour until you come into the pits. But yeah, it's an interesting little track, and it's even actually cool in person. I have actually been here before, so.
Thoughts on next week? We've got some good racing coming up between now and next Friday night, but all eyes on Magello next week. What are your thoughts?
Unfortunately, I will not be around. I will be at SMP for World Time Attack.
Oh, of course. Yes.
So that is next weekend. So I'll be at SMP pretty much from Thursday till probably early Sunday morning. So yeah, that'll be nice and fun running around working for the event there. So it'll be very cool, and hope lots of people turn up. So I know that last year over the weekend they had like 35,000 people through the gates there, which is, you know, not bad. That, you know, that was nearly like what S&P was at for the supercars last year on the Saturday. So yeah, lots of people, and it'll be lots of fun and lots of different cars and cars that definitely look like Batmobiles.
Speaking of crowd numbers, there's been a bit of criticism about where Tasmania was scheduled on the calendar and the lacklustre turnout there last weekend as well. More on that at a later point in time when we have a dull night here on the platforms of the GSRC and we've got some time to kill. But no, good luck with World Time Attack, mate. I know you'll be clicking away and enjoying the sights and sounds and getting the action shots. We look forward to seeing them on socials in the next couple of weeks, and we'll see you when we see you.
Yeah, thanks. Because I think what was it? Was it Oval or was it a Magnicor after?
Sorry? No. Well, at the moment, see, we've had a couple of... Sam Catacazina said to us, he said that Red Bull ring round, he said, I'd like to see that September 13 in Indianapolis pushed back to September 20. If we're going to run the full schedule and we're going to go into overtime, Indianapolis goes back a week. And considering race winner was... considering Sam Kazinas was the race winner, I forgot to ask Greg Keeney what his thoughts on it were, but I'm happy to go with Sam's word on that one. We'll put it up as I know it'll be taken to vote by the members of the cohort here with regards to what they'd like to see, but as it stands, the schedule is Mugello, Magny-Cours, Indianapolis, then the Red Bull Ring. That July 19 on the top of your screen there, folks, that, of course, was lost to the World IT outage. There's some conjecture, there's some debate about whether we make this a 9-round championship and just lose it altogether, whether we go into overtime and come back September 20 and make it a 10-round championship, and if that's the case, swap Red Bull and Indianapolis around so that Indianapolis can be the traditional finishing point. And considering that Sam Catakazinas has said, and Joe Baldwin said, and I've kind of agreed with them, finish with the crowning, the jewel on the crown, finish with the kingpin. I think Indianapolis will be either September 13 or 20, and if it's September 20, Red Bull Ring will be September 13. If it's September 13, Red Bull Ring's likely to be lost for good, lost to the causes of the global IT outage. So yeah, that's the schedule as it stands with what's to come on the platforms of the GSRC.
Nice. Yeah, I did not realise that Red Bull Ring was even there. I did not scroll far enough. So yeah, so I thought Indy was last. So yeah, so Magny-Cours will be interesting in these cars because it's, a bit of definitely an old school circuit there, and it's not that wide, so it'll be very interesing.
Indeed, it will be. Not dissimilar to going racing in Portland as they will be this weekend. It's not very wide either. Very good. Thank you, Dave. Well done, mate.
Thank you very much. And yeah, I was very surprised to see myself in 4th in the race and 4th in the championship. So I thought some of the other guys definitely would have been further ahead. So they'll probably get back. They'll probably get back in front next week. So thanks again. And I'll catch you when I catch you.
You will indeed, mate. I was going to say, stick around. We're about to wrap this one up if you want to have a chat off air. There is Dave Oliver. Well done,
Dave.
Extraordinary stuff. Nick Fodiatis, Joe Baldwin. Before we have a look at what's coming your way on the platforms of the GSRC, some final thoughts from you, Trucker. We got our money's worth tonight and then some.
We did. Look, over racing is one of the things. I'm a bit like Sam Catakazunas, our winner tonight. I love over racing. So does Nick. And a track like this turns it on. It's a wide skill set needed because both ends are different. And you had some storming drives tonight, which is great to see. We had obviously Bevan had whatever went wrong at the start. We're not 100% sure, but he's driven back up to finish 3rd. Dave's up 13 spots to finish 4th. Mav's up 1 position in 2nd. Should have been the win. Unfortunate what happened, but that's how racing goes sometimes. So he's solidified himself in the championship, but this is And unfortunately, one I'll say a bit unfortunate for Aiden. He seemed to have lost his pace there towards the end, Aiden Luthwaite. So I'm sure he'll be looking to have a strong run in the last next couple of rounds to pull some points back in on Adam for the championship. So it's going to be one not to miss on a Friday night.
Not at all. No, be here front and centre next Friday night. It is going to be well worth the price of admission. You don't want to miss it. Just quickly, Broncos prevailing over Eels 30-24 Friday night football at Suncorp. And as soon as we're done here, you can flick over and watch a Storm delay the end of the AFL match. They've gone off for Lightning at the MCG, 9.5 minutes to play, 13-12-90. Collingwood leading Melbourne 7-7. 49, and they could be off the ground for 20 to 40 minutes. Who knows how long that storm activity lasts is how long the delay lasts.
If they were really brave,
they 9.5 minutes to play after
they
that.
might end up Thor.
Yeah. Exactly.
What was the scores on that one, Zach? Sorry.
7-7-49 trails 13-12-90 at the moment.
Might as well just finish the game there, I think. Red flag.
Yeah. Red flag. Lights out. Thanks for coming. See you next time.
Send everybody home. Stop wasting everybody's time.
Now, Nick, to finish off, final thoughts from you, mate. I mean, from race control standpoint, what do you make of the night, and who were the standout performers and why?
Well, I got busy after the race. As you saw, I was jumping in and out of channels, all sorts of things. So, everybody a little bit hot under the collar. Yep. Obvious ones as well.
Yes.
And then some not so obvious ones, and just some clarifications on stuff. So, I'm one to, what's the saying? You can't see your reflection in boiling water. So, just everybody chillax, relax, and then have another look at it tomorrow, and then go from there. But in terms of tonight, I'm just happy we got 6 from 6 different winners from 6 different races. Yeah. I'm chuffed with that. We're going to try and do the whole season and make no repeat winners. So I invite everybody and anybody to come along that's part of the Gentlemen Sim Racing Club to try and nab a win before the season's through.
Indeed. And on the subject, I mean, we've got some great racing still to come here. And I'll run you through the schedule, and I'm going to come back to Nick in a moment just to wrap it up. But Mountain Men tomorrow night, that's what's coming your way as far as the end of Week 7 is concerned and the start of Week 8, folks. Mountain Men, Audi 90 GTO, 32 laps around Mount Panorama from 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Trucker mentioned more about that last night, of course. Next week gets underway with Monday Night Motorsport. Merch.tgsrci.com, Super 2 and Super 3 action. It'll be Super 2 from the Glen on the Cup layout of Watkins Glen. That'll be well worth the price of admission. 7:30 Eastern Standard Time for that one. Adam Lavis will be a little bit calmer than he is tonight, no doubt, and he will be with us for that. Hockenheim Ring will be the second stop on Monday night. And it's a two-parter. And now, I don't like to correct the director and the producer on air, but we're actually going to show you the AM split first up and the Pro split second up on Monday night with the with the last sprint round of the season for Waste Options GT3. Pro second up, feature race, and AM first up. The Pro-Am race, the 60-minute race in Week 9 will be Pro-Am exclusive, and then Pro for Week 10. Hockenheim Ring the venue, 2 sprint races, invert racing, all that jazz. 8:30 Eastern Standard Time. Look forward to your company for that. Tuesday night, the introductory formula and Super Formula Lights from the Circuit Park Zandvoort. The national configuration, the short circuit for introductory formula and the Renault 2.0s, then on the full Grand Prix layout for the Wings and Slicks over 40 minutes. 3 races for the introductory formula, just the one for the Wings and Slicks. Of course, there's a couple of things coming up post-season that we need to have a chat about in a moment as well, including Wings and Slicks. That's Tuesday night. Good luck to all and sundry. Wednesday night, Mustang FR 500s from Willow Springs, one of the great underrated tracks of the world. Wednesday night, 2 sprint races, 7:30 Eastern Standard Time. Mount Panorama then next up for GT4. Not a grand finale stop, Mount Panorama for GT4 this season. Looking forward to that. 40 minutes, 8:45 Eastern Standard Time. Haven't seen much of GT4 recently because it hasn't been on broadcast. Downforce Legends next Thursday night. I'm not here the next 2 Thursday nights. I am MIA a bit over the next couple of weeks, but I'll be here for Mondays and Fridays. I won't be here on Thursday night. Liam Banks is deputising for me. He'll be here with Daniel Caressa. Downforce Legends, LMP2 from Fuji, 40 minutes there on the back of last week's tear around Road America. And on to I am disappointed actually to be missing the Porsches from Monza, the Temple of Speed. That'll be fantastic. Over 40 minutes from 8:45 Eastern Standard Time, and look forward to your company for that. Next Friday night, Joe Baldwin and I with you. Off to Magello, 35 laps or 65 minutes, whichever comes first. Okay, we're flirting with time limits again, but no, looking forward to that immensely. From Magello, our first trip there with the Indy cars, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and Joe and I will be with you for that. Big thanks to the sponsors as per usual, and also don't forget, merch. If it's not too late, Father's Day is just around the corner. Grab some GSRC paraphernalia, give it to Dad, and say, here, this is how we're killing our time Mondays, Thursdays, and Fridays, watching some of the best sim races in the country ply their trade and do their bit. And that's your way of showing support for the club. Stubby coolers, bottle openers, shirts, hoodies, you name it. I'm all for expanding that range if and when the budget allows it, but for the moment, that's what we've got, and it's pretty bloody good too. The shirts are particularly comfortable. Merch.tgsrci.com and gsrcmerch.myshopify.com takes you to the same link. Any more information with regards to the club, race.tgsrci.com. A big thanks to all of them for their ongoing input and support and their involvement in the club. A big thanks to the people scrolling across the bottom of your screen as well. Freight Insider, Waste Options, merch.tgsrci.com, Orbic Australia, Lobesy Racing, M-Wave Australia, and Flash Graphics. We could not do it without their ongoing input, their involvement, their support, and their sponsorship of the platforms of the GSRC across Facebook, Twitch, and YouTube. Final thoughts to you, Nick Phodiatis. I mean, 6 from 6, as you say. Indycar's well known for doing this on our platforms. We've seen it a couple of times before. There's potential there for a couple of people to double up, and we're looking forward to seeing who might, break the trend or buck the trend in a couple of weeks' time. But Magello throws up an interesting challenge, but the racing, the field wasn't big tonight, but the racing was red hot, so the quality is right there.
Well, that's it, and I feel Friday night, people that get buried in the pack, that kind of thing, tend to get a bit of a better run as well. And I'm always trying to mix it up on a Friday night and at least have one IndyCar season in there somewhere. And obviously, like Joe mentioned, I want to do more ovals, but the ovals seem to push people away. It would be nice if it was back to a 50-50 split, but anyway. But yeah, look, it's onward and upward. Hopefully we get 7 from 7.
Hopefully so. There's every chance that we will when we join you next Friday night, from Magello.